So we're gonna get into it talking about the rebellion of Sheba, but cause we in second Samuel 19, and we're gonna get in 20 as well. So okay, we're talking about Joab and David right now, but Joab, David, and his son Absalom. So Joab was trying to basically comfort up and get David out of his well and out of his mourning for his son Absalom, because Absalom was supposed to be king over Israel, over that kingdom. But he failing in battle, because around them times there was battles, there was wars going on, but he falling in battle. So he gets him, he recollecting unto him, really you had a hand in your son falling, him being slew by the sword, and in battle, so it was really like a guidance thing, but at the same time, his son was treacherous. He was doing treacherous things. His son even pursued him. David he was doing some, he was in iniquity too. He was doing iniquities too. But the Abba had mercy on him. He was a merciful man, and he believed in repentance. So he got that mercy. So David was becoming he had to go and become Israel's king again. He had to become that king again. So he was really just waiting on that, because he knew that was gonna come next anyway. Israel was looking for a new king, because every time one fought in battle, even with his son Absalom, they was like, oh well, we gotta find another king, because they was believing in a leader. They didn't believe in Yahushua. They didn't believe in the Messiah. They didn't believe in Yahweh, the God of Israel's son, his begotten son. They didn't believe in the prince, man. So that was a known thing in the scriptures. That was the known thing in the book of Kings, where they was always looking for a king. That was a known thing. Like one falling battle, that was ignorant in their worship. As we is today, we ignorant in our worship until we actually come and actually, come together to put the begotten son in the mix of us, to even be led for sure, like to be led for real. So, that was going on for sure. That was going on, and it's the same as today, but not to digress. But so look, now that being said, I'm just gonna give you the whole breakdown of Sheba's rebellion. So the lack of unity, it really started a lot of trouble. It was a lot of trouble. It was a lot of wars, social wars, all this going on. When the trouble was, when it was severe. When it was cut off, when the trouble was cut off, that's when it brought unity. That's when it brought it eventually. But because of Saul, it was a blood guilt. It was all this trouble because of a blood guilt. One of the prophets, one of the messengers, one of the servants, he committed a sin that defiled the land, basically. He committed a sin that defiled the land. So it was causing famines, it was causing, because Saul caused the Gibeonites, he caused them to be put to death. And before that was to occur, he was told not to even, do this act. He was already told not to do this, so it was in disobedience. So he brought the land to be defiled by bloodshed. So when that occurred, That's when it was a curse among the nation. It was a curse among Israel, the Jews, the 12 tribes. It was a curse. And we were waging war against each other. That's how bad the curse had got. Then famine, when people get hungry, you know how they go. When famine hit, cattle die, all this. So, the climate, it had, even the climate that Abba was bringing about. Because, the climate is not, I used to think you can control these people out here, these elites was controlling the climate, but really, Abba controlling it. When it's bloodshed, sin and iniquity in the mix, when it's curses in the mix, he put curses in the mix among us. It ain't no, climate change, nah, bro, it ain't that, bro. It's just the simple fact we got curses, it's sin and iniquity, it's bloodshed, we slaying, we slaughtering our people every day. So, what you think the weather gonna feel like? You gotta understand, you got to understand, it's all, Salaki, let me look for the word, it's not, like, it's nature-wise as well. Like, you gotta understand, we connected to everything out here, outdoor, that's nature-wise. So, we doing all this bullshit, we killing, I don't care if it's on the spiritual plane, it's still gonna be where it's gonna impact the outdoors, it's gonna impact the cattle and everything that's going on, because there's no mercy among us. The animals, they look for, they not just animals, they just like us, they mammals, they mammals. They just like us, they just in another form, they in another species, that's it. So, the cattle, if it ain't right, because of these curses in the family, we ain't got no food. Just like today, we ain't really got no food. The food we got is not even the realest food. Like, we eating laboratory, we been, not to digress, that's another video. But anyways, see, the rebellion, it played a big part. It's played a big part now, because we still talk about, when we talking about Sheba, that's when we get to talk about the ships of Tarshish. Let's talk about East Africa. Let's talk about parts where Solomon, he traveled in Africa. But at the same time, still talking about the ship, when we was on them ships, when our people was on them ships, and that was in captivity, and shackles, chains, iron, and all, so the same thing, The thing is now, it's happening now, but it's on a spiritual plan, because it already took place. So, history repeat itself, but it's going to be in a different way. We're going to go through them same trials and tribulation, the great tribulation, as then, but it's only going to be in a different way. It's going if we go to Deuteronomy 28, and we go to 20, and we go to Ezekiel 20, and we go all through them. That's when it's stating, it's telling us, He going to bring us in the wilderness, He going to plead, we going to be among you before His face. So it's like, we got to get right anyways. We got to stand repentance anyways. Not to digress again, but yeah, man, this blood guilt, this sin iniquity, or bloodshed, it caused famines. It caused a lot. Until a blood atonement was avenged, meaning until some more righteous blood was shed to actually leave for this nation. Because you gotta understand, it ain't just Yahushua, the Messiah, to just, it wasn't just him to do that after then, because he ain't gonna continue to keep coming back. He gonna come among us spiritually, but it's gonna be through spirit. But now, he always seemed like a flesh, like a Messiah, a Messiah in the flesh. He always gonna raise up Messiahs in the flesh. So it's always gonna be ones of the nation to die for the nation iniquity. They gonna be the ones bearing iniquity. They gonna be, you got the saints, you got the elect, you got the remnant, it's different, compartments. It's like it. But we're gonna get back to Samuel 19 and 20. We'll talk about, his son, his nephews. So this is around the time Absalom went to Jerusalem, he took his father's concubine. He even took some of his father's concubine, laid with him in the mix in the eyes of the congregation of Israel and Judah. He did this openly, like, you feel me? So, like I said, and like it stated, even in these books, in the book of the living word, like, he was treacherous. He was real treacherous, but David still had, because, like I said, he still is a merciful man. He believed in repentance. He believed in, if I commit this iniquity, I know I should bear this and shouldn't have no lip about it. So he believed in that. So that being said, he still had mercy on his son, even after he did what he did. And his own son pursued him. His own son wanted his neck. His own son was on that. Because it was all about power. It was all about a position. Just like today, Cain and Abel, it's the same thing, bro. It's just time different. But the victory given unto Israel, from the God of Israel, they was cheerful. They was in a cheerful manner, everything. But David, he couldn't be cheerful, even though he was overcome by the congregation of Israel. He couldn't be cheerful because he was still mourning for his son. And that being said, if son and father love, it's gonna always be to where it don't matter what hand they was on, like what turn they was on. It don't matter if it's death. A person still gonna be genuine about their kids, if they genuinely love their kids, love their children, love their father. Whoever died first or whatever, it's still gonna be genuine. So that was occurring or whatnot, and that occurred. Let me see. I'm trying to get a good setting. So Salaki, bear with me. But so like I stated, the victory of Israel was given unto them by the God of Israel. So it's in the midst of this being a victory, everybody cheerful, everybody doing, it still was it was turned into a mourning. So that's what I was stating when they were speaking about Joab, was telling David, like, man, you need to stop being selfish, because Israel just got this victory, and you being in it, because like I stated, you gotta understand, these are spirits that move about people. Our emotions perhaps are really, spirits, whether if it's a good spirit or a bad spirit, or a counseling spirit, or a spirit of expression. So when he was in this spirit, it moved, and they seen the low countenance of David, and it went about among Israel. It went about among Israel, Judah. It went about them, and it went from, they was, oh man, yeah, we got the victory, yeah, and we got blessed. We feeling blessed by the God of Israel. We feeling blessed. Now they look up on their brother. They look up on their king, and they like, man. At this point, he was the king, but he let his son be the king. He fell in battle, and like I said, that stated, going back to that, but that's digression. But anyways, it's like, bear with me. So they seen the low countenance of David. So all they cheering went from cheering to mourning. They was mourning for their brother. He still had some. He had supporters. He had people who were doing sacrificial offerings for him. So, we can't never think we ain't got nobody in support. Because I used to state that all the time. Man, the support that I see, these people, we can't be selfish like that. Because you always got somebody in support. You never know. It just, don't let your affliction think, oh, everybody against me here. Because I'm not going to just have you down here, even though we sin to have us in these experiences and these simulations and in this state of form of the way we in, because we sinned a while ago. But never let affliction or oppression or none of that just be like, oh man, I don't got nobody for me, because it's somebody praying for you. You don't even know about it. It's somebody who sending you virtue, sending you substance, sending you a higher spirit of countenance. Countenance. Abroad you, amongst you, to keep you, keep you in high spirits. So we always gotta recollect on that. We always gotta think of that, but not to digress. So You know, he was still mourning. David was in he was in his feelings for a long time about his son, and I can understand it. I can truly understand it. But you know, like I said, his nephew, his nephew came to him. He's like, man, you gotta recollect on what's what. Like, you know, he understood about his son. He understood this was about his son, so he gonna do that. But at the same time, he like, man, you do have to understand that you being in this low countenance is gonna bring a spirit among Judah. It's gonna bring a spirit among Israel. It's gonna make people who cheering about a victory that they was blessed by our Father. It's gonna be to where they gonna be mourning and doing all this weeping and wailing and in this pain because they brethren doing the same. We all the one in spirit and heart. So we impacted. We authentically is impacted. We naturally are impacted. You know, we know how to feel for somebody. Even if we in bad terms, we know how to feel for somebody. We know how to feel for our own. So that being said, bro, like, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing. If we're around people and everybody in high spirits, we gotta learn how to get out of our feelings. We gotta not be selfish. We can't be always, oh, it's about me. And that's what Joab was telling David. He was telling him that about his son because he understood what they was feeling. But it was like, bro, you do gotta think of this. You still gotta think about the congregation. You can't think about, just think about yourself and think about your situation. Because these people, it's not only you. Basically, he's saying it's not only you went through it. I'm pretty sure it was in the books where he stated other altercations that occurred to where he can get his mind and be like, yo, woo, but yeah, man, this rebellion is like, we gotta get this rebellion out the way, man. We gotta move this rebellion out the way.